here.
Hey, Kayla.
Hi, Iyanna.
Welcome to Fill in the Blank podcast.
Welcome.
Get away, it'll be okay, it'll be okay, no place we can go, 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 get away.
Fill in the blank.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week at Fill in the Blank podcast.
Welcome.
Hey, Iyanna.
Hey, Kayla.
How are you feeling?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
I'm tired, but you good.
I'm
I'm tired
good.
too, girl. But
I'm
you know
good.
what? We pushing through and we making it.
Because we have a guest.
We have a guest. So as y'all can see, we are back in our guest episode space, our second home, and you all can finally meet who it is that we can attribute all of this to, this beautiful space that y'all have been asking about and saying that it is so pretty. So meet Mariah.
Woo, woo,
Hi, Mariah.
Hi.
Oh, y'all are so cute. I love it.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Looking
really
good.
Looking good.
Thank you.
Come on, makeup.
Okay.
Y'all so sweet. Thank
Okay,
you.
so we have to tell the people how we got connected, like how this all came to be, before we get to tell them about this beautiful space that we're in and what you have created. So I could start just with like the background. I found Soulful Cafe. That's where we're at. Soulful Cafe. I found on Instagram, and I was like, ooh, this place is super cute. It's really cool. And at the time, we were looking for someone that we could partner with for like guest episodes. Since we film out of my home, I was like, yeah, we can't be having like just random people coming to my home. So I was like, yeah, we need to find like a good space. And stuff had like fell through. I don't know if we told you that when we came the first time, but like stuff had fell through. It just, nothing was working. And then when I saw this space, I was like, I wonder, because I saw you like you hosted events and all of that here too. So I sent it to them, and then we ended up here. So I'm just really grateful for that opportunity. But I'll give you a chance to like speak on how it all came together on your end too.
Man, I feel like it was divine, like I told y'all when I first met you, because I had just put in the atmosphere, like I would love for someone to come in here and host their podcast out of here. And I was like, it has to be the right one though. You know, it has to be the right type of podcast. And so I think we posted something that a lot of people got traction to. Of course, negativity always comes about, but we got you guys out of it. And so when you reached out, I researched and I was like, okay, I like these girls. You know, let's bring them in. Let's see what's going to happen. And then when y'all came in, everybody was so welcoming. Like, being from Chicago, you know, some people are really kind of mean. And I'm you know, and I'm a spiritual person. So I'm just like, if the energy is not right in 10 seconds, you got to go.
Yeah.
You know? But as soon as y'all came in, it was like we knew each other for a long time.
It really was like
right?
that. Yeah.
And the conversation was just flowing. And it felt, like you said, very aligned. Like real divine. And so
it did.
super grateful that y'all are here. And then when I saw y'all first one, I was like, oh, it's so cute. It was made for them.
Yeah, when we had, and it was so unexpected, because when we first came, we weren't supposed to be in this room.
Right, exactly.
Which is wild to think. And so once you had it all set up, we were like, oh no, this is like perfect.
This
It
the
fits
one.
as well, too.
It does.
It
It
fits
does.
us
Y'all look
very
so
well.
comfortable too. I love it.
Because it's look, all attributed to you, because this is so comfy. It just feels like a home.
It
like
does.
it really does.
It does.
Good.
It's the vibe we were looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It definitely
It
was.
was.
Definitely the vibe that we were looking for.
Yeah.
So I just want you to share a little bit of background, you know, about yourself, like who you are, and just a little bit about your journey, like before you created Soulful. Like, who is Mariah? What do you want people to know about you?
Man, you know what I told myself yesterday? In 5 years, when people ask me that, I'm going to bust out in a rap. Like in West Philadelphia, you know?
Like Issa,
Yes,
when she be in the mirror.
Exactly. Because I want you to really feel me. No,
Yeah.
But, I am Mariah. Most people call me Modi, which is my nickname and also my author name. And I am from Chicago, from the east side of Chicago, not the avenues. I'm from South Shore.
Period.
And
said what she said.
Okay, period. I grew up very privileged. I thank God for my parents because they worked. Can we cuss?
Yeah,
They worked their ass off.
Ariel's like, please, guys.
They did their thing. They were really hustlers, like grinders. They really put a great example for me.
Yeah.
But with that hustle, time kind of was not on our side. You know what I mean? I really didn't get to spend that much time with them. The love was there. Everything that I needed was there and over, but I just didn't have that time. So I spent a lot of time by myself. I grew up only child. And of course, I had...
Come on, only children? Okay. I'm an only child.
Both of us only children.
Yep.
Wait, that's a whole nother segment.
Yes.
Because it's a syndrome.
It's a syndrome. It is.
That's crazy.
It makes you different.
It really
like
is.
you act completely different as an only child, and the way you connect with people and all of that. And it's an only child.
You
thing.
yearn for that connection.
Yes.
Because you by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so y'all feel me. Okay, cool. This is a safe space.
Yes.
But so a long time didn't really feel like solitude to me. It felt like isolation. And I was depressed. But I didn't know that I was depressed. I didn't really know that was the word to coin it as, depression.
Yeah.
So I kind of just went through just looking for, I would say, a soul tribe, looking for people, looking for love. And I think that was like an easy target. You know what I mean? Like, okay, she's looking for this. Let me take advantage of her, So I kind of ran into a lot of people that hurt my feelings. And I won't say that I didn't attribute to that because I'm a little spicy thing. So, my mouth is kind of crazy. I lost some people because of that. But, it made me have to find an outlet, have to search for an outlet because I just didn't have one. I didn't want to be alone and I was running into the wrong people. And so I got into writing. I just started writing my thoughts down because there were so many in my head. I was just like, okay, I need to start seeing them because what am I to do with these things?
Yeah.
And so that brought me to college. And when I got to college, I started hearing people talking about depression and therapy and these type of things. And I'm just like,
it's crazy when you have access to that information. You start to realize so that's what it is.
Right,
Yeah.
that's
It's the more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah.
For real. So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is what I've been feeling for real. Other people feel this. All right, cool. So I had an advisor of some sort. And he would tell me that I had chronic depression. And I'm just like, okay, what is that? He kept telling me to go to a doctor, a therapist, whatever. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit down and tell anybody about anything because I don't even know what to tell them. I'm going to sit there. They're going to look at me and I'm just going to start bringing up stuff. That probably didn't happen. And then, whenever I would say that I was sad to someone, they would be like, why? You have everything. How can you be sad?
So it's like judgment.
It is. Immediately. You can't be sad because you don't
what do you have to be sad for?
What do you have to be sad for? You have everything you can want. Look at what you live in and what you drive, and it's just oh baby, you don't know. You don't know. You just don't know. And so really, that turned into anger. And so I'm mad. I'm cussing people out. You this, you that. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real. Yeah. Because now I'm at war inside.
At this way. Exactly.
It is self-defense.
Yeah.
I'm at war inside already, and now I'm at war with you. And it's I'm going after you first. Yeah. Because that seems easier. Yeah. To war with myself, it's what am I doing? You know?
It's easier to take it out on other people and to especially people when they come closer to you. It's oh, you about to get all the smoke. I've
been waiting.
Try me if you want to.
I've been waiting.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was writing. When I first went to college, my major was business management, and if that's yours, cool. But it's a no for me, right? I thank God that somebody told me to change it to English. And so when I switched it to English, I started to actually understand more about the craft of writing and journalism. And I went to HBCU, and so it was really small. I went to Fisk in Nashville, and my professors would knock on my door if I wouldn't come to class.
Man.
Like they really.
That's how small it was, or
Absolutely.
that's how.
That's how HBCU life, especially if you go to a small HBCU, they're so like
really
nurturing like that. That's the one
absolutely.
thing I really missed by not going to a HBCU because I knew that they were like that there.
They are as family.
Yeah.
It's super intimate. And I mean, my whole family went there too, so it was that vibe. But they just would not let you fail.
Yeah.
You know, like it was, you missed 2 classes, I'm at your door. What's up?
Yeah.
You know? And so that's when I fell in love with like literature and reading and music and, you know, all type of, I would say, words. I fell in love with how people express themselves through words. And I wanted to be able to do that because I was like, you guys seem empowered, you know, like rappers and poets and authors, you guys seem like you're strong, you know, and even if you're not strong, you put 26 letters together and now you are.
Because that's a power. That's a superpower to be able to express yourself in that way so concisely and in a way that other people resonate. It's power.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I started to get addicted to that, expressing myself, you know, and so I started Am I going too far? Did you ask me?
Girl, go. Keep going, girl. Keep going.
Okay,
Keep going.
Cool. So then I started to write my own book. Well, I went into a creative writing class because at HBCUs, they, inside your major, they go into like, well, this might be other colleges too, but at my school, they make you have a major and then like a minor, and then they go into like sub-minors and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
Sub-minors.
Right. So like to really like hone in.
Yeah, like it really gives you like a specific.
Like a specification?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
wow.
That's so cool.
So I got my bachelor's in art and my major was English. But then I also went into journalism and creative writing.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to actually really see the foundation of writing and look at
all of that was like an umbrella. It was like umbrella, get more specific, more. I love that.
Yeah. It was, I couldn't ask for a better college situation. And I know that was God because I needed it. Words saved my life, for real. Because I thought so many different thoughts and I was just like, where are these coming from? And so my creative writing instructor, he gave me a task. He gave everybody a task and he was like, write a story. It could be fiction or it could be nonfiction. And just when you start, let it flow and continue to let it flow. So I was like, well, I've been through some shit. Let me write about me, you know? So I started writing, and it was about a young girl who watched her mom go through some really trying relationships. And instead of her learning from her mom's mistakes, she created them. And I wrote that in my creative writing class. And then he was like, you have to keep going. Like, I'm intrigued.
He loved it.
It was only 2 chapters that I
Oh my
wrote.
gosh.
And he was like, you have to keep going. I would like to see this as a book. And I was like,
oh, wow. It's crazy hearing the birth of how all,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
Even listening to it now, it's like, okay, you are a little special.
Yeah, no, very special because that's awesome.
Yeah, he really, I just don't, I can't believe I can't remember his name, but he pushed me to make it the book that I published. And through that, it took me a while to write that because I started it started to bring up a lot of feelings that I didn't know that I had that were suppressed. And of course, the book is called Some Women Prefer Hell, and it
by
is
Modi G.
By Modi G. Period. Love that. Love that. And it is embellished a lot, meaning like I added some to make it good, but it is stemmed from. It
comes from
that's
your
what
heart.
I love about what do they call it? Creative nonfiction. I love the fact that it's technically still your life, but you can like weave in the details and like make it more vivid for people to really experience it. Exactly. I also took a creative nonfiction class, and it felt like it brought me to life. Even be able to write about things that I experienced in my childhood. Yes. So therapeutic.
It is, right?
So therapeutic.
Very cathartic. Exactly.
It reminded me with you talking about this when I was younger. I had this competition at my school every year from kindergarten to 8th grade. We would do this young authors competition, and I would win almost every year because I was a writer.
I like
I would win. Hello, slight flex. But my 8th grade year, that was like 7th and 8th grade. That's when I used to like really write for real, because it wasn't my parents controlling it. It was me.
your own passion.
Yeah. And so in 8th grade, that was when my mom passed away. And I was writing a lot about, it was just so interesting. I read it recently because I found it.
Okay.
And I wrote it in the perspective of a boy, but it was like the way that me and my dad's relationship wasn't the best and all of that. And it was just so interesting how it came out in that way. And I was like, wow, I was really trying to communicate something. I didn't realize it then, but now that I look back at it and I know what I was going through at that time, I'm like, this was me trying to release what was going on. And like you said, it was very embellished, but it was a lot like what I was going through, how I felt, at least that inner war that you talk about, like that was definitely all up and through that book. Like it was that release.
That must be really cool to now as an adult, with the insight and the understanding and the words and verbiage that you have now, to look back at your 8th grade self to see what you were trying to communicate and how you were trying to communicate that.
Yeah.
When did you write your book exactly?
So I started in my senior year of college.
So even with you looking back at your book, do you still do you have more insight, even more?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I bet.
Absolutely.
I bet.
Definitely do.
That must be a crazy experience to just read that back and be like, wow, look at how far I've even still come.
Yeah. But for you to be able to be able to like speak from a perspective of a boy, like that's crazy.
That's creativity.
That's creativity.
Hello, creativity.
I think, I don't even know what I was thinking. I think that, I do know. When from kindergarten to 7th grade, all of my books would follow the character Iyanna, which is my middle name.
Oh, cute.
And I didn't want it to be like me anymore.
Was it kind of cool to like disassociate in a way?
Yeah, like just to have a new character. Like I felt like I wanted to push myself. Like I had been writing about this same character all that time.
Come on, 8th grade, Kayla.
Look,
I'm about to say, come on, book. I'm ready.
I'm gonna try to find it and I'll show it to you all.
Yes.
But it was about like a boy playing basketball. It was crazy.
But if you find it, we should release it to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Right?
Here, guys, read my 8th grade.
I'll even release one of my creative nonfiction pieces. But I really just want you to release yours.
Yeah.
You have to, because now I'm looking for it.
Yes. I'm going to find it, and I'll definitely bring it to you. Y'all can definitely read it. We'll see if I release it for the public.
Yeah.
Release it. Yes.
Right. Right.
But yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Where did we cut you off at? Because I felt like you were going so deep. I don't want you to stop going the direction that you were going.
Oh, man. So when I graduated, it was only 2 chapters. And he was like, I would love to see this as a book. And I was like, a book? Like, what are you talking about? I don't want to do that. He was like, no, I feel like you really should. And this was over the course of like maybe 4 meetings that he had to, it took him to convince me. And I was like, okay. And I think that the reason that I didn't want to was because it was so revealing, you know? And I was like, wow,
burn your soul.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it must have felt like putting your heart just like on your sleeve, like for everybody to see. Like, it's like a very naked type of feeling.
And that's exactly how I felt. Naked. And I was like, no. But his encouragement and his like, he was like, you know, whatever strength you mustered up to write these 2 chapters, you need to find it. And then he was like, I thought you was from Chicago. And I was like, oh,
that's a challenge.
Wait,
you don't say that to no Chicago person. What? You like, I'm about to write this book. I'm actually about to write a series.
Right, you got me messed up because now I'm going crazy. You know?
Exactly.
But he knew exactly what he had to do to, you know, to get it out of me. And so when I wrote it in 2018, I was like, the response that I got from people was so impactful to me. It was healing to me. Like I went on the ride of my life dropping it. I did the Black Women's Expo. I was on the news. Like I really took it as far as I could.
Yeah.
How did that feel to get so much recognition for bearing your soul, for being naked in front of so many people, and it's received positively and you get a lot of like, you know, celebration around something you created?
It felt great.
Yeah.
It felt really like, me? Y'all like me? All right, let's go with it.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm talking to people and like, they're like, and what else did you do? And how did you feel like this? Like really interested in what I had to say, really interested in like my journey, you know, and it made me feel really good. It made me feel worthy because all those times I was sad, I felt like I wasn't worthy, like the world would go on without me.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I found, and I'm gonna say this, I found purpose, and that's dangerous.
Ooh, explain. Go deeper into that.
Right? So like I said, I went different podcasts, interviews, news, I did like book tours, everything. And I wasn't specific on what I wanted. I allowed the enemy to creep in because I was distracted. You know, I guess a quick glimpse of fame had me like, oh, I got this, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't guard myself spiritually.
Okay.
So I allowed almost anything to come in, you know? I didn't pay attention to the fact that I'm bringing up real life situations. You know, I'm actually really talking to people about their feelings and, you know, the inner thoughts of them. It became, after a while, it became more about, you know, how many people are going to be here and how many people are going to see this and who am I going to talk to. It came more about the fame than the initial mission. And so, you know, my grandma always say, God will give you exactly what you want and then throw a distraction and see if you're ready for it. And I wasn't ready for it. You know, I wasn't. I got into a really, really bad relationship. And we were emotionally, physically, mentally abusive to each other. And so my book promotion stopped. Like right after 6 months, it just stopped. And I was stuck. I was captured by whatever I had allowed inside, you know. I'm back sad because I didn't really have a foundation. So once that left, exactly.
Things are shaky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had nothing else to hold on to. So I'm like, okay, now I'm back at square one.
Yeah.
And I'm also being torn down, you know, at home. I'm also like not
Gosh, no safety anywhere.
Man.
Nowhere, not at home. And then work became toxic because I came home to work in my family business.
Oh God.
So right.
like I'm already like, oh God.
You know, and it was like they do great work. You know, I love the family business. It's just not me.
Yeah.
And I tried to give it my all.
Yeah.
But I only had half when I'm going to work because I'm trying to give half at home, you know?
Yeah.
And by no means am I a victim in this situation.
Yeah.
I definitely played my hand. You know what I mean? I definitely participated in it. And that was the beginning of my downward spiral. And like I said, I didn't have a foundation to hold on to. So I'm just in the water. You know? Just swimming.
Floating.
Float, not even swimming.
Really floating.
Treading water.
Drowning.
Yeah.
And it got real dark for me. I'm talking about dark, like it's sunny outside and it's dark.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm fighting real demons.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do because I wasn't equipped for this. And that's why I say it's dangerous because being an author, you have authority. And I wrote in that book some things, like I said, were embellished, but I wasn't intentional that this is not the life that I want. This is the life that I created for entertainment.
Yep.
And
It's fictional.
It's fictional.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing my interviews, I'm like, this character is me, you know? Like she is me, her experiences are mine.
So you spoke that over.
I absolutely did. I manifested that into my life. That's how I know it's real, you know? Want me to keep going?
Yes.
So, like I said, when you are an author, it gives you the type of authority that I wasn't ready for. And I manifested those things into my life. And once they came, I had no idea what to do. And so I was at rock bottom. If there's anything lower than rock bottom, that's where I was. And I had to do something because, like I said, it was literally no escape. I'm at home and it's miserable. I'm at work and it's miserable. Everywhere I go, it was miserable. I was losing friends left and right. And I was getting to a point where I stopped believing in God. Mm-hmm. And I'm calling my aunts and I'm like, because my aunt would send me like memes where it's good morning, God loves you. And I'm, no, he don't. Ain't no way, you know? Yeah. And she called my phone and she's like, I plead the blood of Jesus on you. There is no way. And she's just like, it's not a funny situation, but when she say it, she funny with it.
I got family like that too. I'll wake up with hands on me. Like,
yes,
like, what's happening?
She like, I'm gonna just throw a whole bottle of oil on you, you know. And I'm put the phone down because I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to hear none of that. Mm-hmm. So me and my ex, we decided to go our separate ways. I left my family business, and you know, my family was like, okay, well now you're on your own then because we created this for you, and this is not what you want. So I don't know what to tell you. And I was mean. I was angry. I was just not a fun person to be around. So literally no one wanted to be around me.
Yeah. How did you get to that point though, that you were able to like, because I think that that's something that's like really like a turning point, even with you being like bitter and angry. But the fact that you were able to muster up the strength to leave and basically say that like, you were not going to stay in that situation. Mm-hmm. Like, what got you? Do you remember, was there something in particular that got you to that point that you were like, this is it, I'm done with this?
Absolutely. He left me.
Mm. Ooh, it's crazy how God does that. It's crazy. It's like, okay, I can see clearly you don't have the strength, so let me do it for you.
Yep. And that's exactly what
you're
happened.
Gonna shed because you have no choice but to. Because at this point, like you're not moving.
Yeah, yeah. Because I wouldn't have left any other way. Yeah, I was miserable, but it was leaving wasn't. I'm like, how we gonna make this work?
Yeah, it was an attachment. Yeah.
So,
especially as an only child, because we yearn for that.
Yes, that makes it even harder. Like, and I think it shows up even in like friendships and whatnot. I would say especially because I like when you don't have siblings, when you connect with people, you view them like you're my sister.
Family. Yeah,
and you can't go nowhere.
Now that's it.
Please.
You're locked in for life.
Yes.
Yeah. So I definitely get that, and especially even with like being in a toxic relationship, like it's like that wanting to see the best in the person, and you're like, well, I'm loyal, so I'm gonna hold it down regardless.
Yes, pick me. Yeah, let me show you all the reasons you should pick me.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Literally.
Chills, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's like I won't say we all had to go through it, but some of us do, because we're hard headed. I know I am.
But for sure.
I know I am.
I know for sure. Yeah. There was no other way that relationship would have severed. Yeah. You know, and it was all of a sudden. And it was just like, okay, now I really have no purpose here. Like, it's really time for me to just go. And I planned the whole thing. I'm like, I'm going to clean my house, you know, and I'm going to end this because I can't be here anymore. I have
There's no point.
There's no point. Yeah. You know, my parents are not talking to me. Like, my closest friends, they're just away from me. And I'm a very sensitive person. So that just broke me down even further.
Wow. How did that feel with like it's already hard enough to lose like friendship, romantic relationship, but like your own parents kind of not being by your side. It seems like you said, the darkest moment of your life. Like,
that felt like death.
Yeah.
I'm like, death has to feel better than this. Like, they're not answering the phone for me. They're not doing the one thing that I know for sure they're going to do, which is save me in a time where I need money or I need help. They're like, no, you got to do it on your own. And it was just like, okay, so now I don't have my friends. I don't have my man. I don't got my family. And God is nowhere to be found. So I'm out, you know? And the only thing that stopped me was thinking of I do have a little brother from my father's side, and just thinking of him because we spent so much time away from each other. And I was like, if I leave him, he's going to be by himself. And I know for a fact that God like just flashed his face through my mind because I'm telling you, like, it was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
And then his face just came up and I was like, I stopped everything.
That was your reason.
That was, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't leave him. Like, I can't leave him. I don't want him to grow up like me. And this generation is different than us. And
so different.
There's like, I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I still didn't know what to do though. Mm. You know, I was still like, okay, but what's next? Right. What are you going to do? You brought me here. I didn't ask to be here. I don't know why I'm here. Can't nobody tell me why I'm here. Right. If you are real, where are you? You know? So I got on my knees and I said, God, or whatever your name is, if you're real, can you please guide me? Because I am failing at everything. Like, I'm sinking. I don't know what else to do. Yeah. And I remember crying myself to sleep. And I was just like, okay, well, if this is the God that Kurt Franklin talk about in the morning, it's going to be fixed, you know? And I woke up and it wasn't fixed. Right. And I'm like, alive. Hey, it's a new day. God damn it. What's like, okay, where is he? Yeah. This is ridiculous. So I'm still like, all right, let me figure something out. I got a phone call from a girl that used to bully me in grammar school.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh, wow.
Where'd she come from?
Right?
Talk about a turn of events.
Right?
Not where she come from.
Where she come from?
Girl, what you want?
I thank God for her, though.
Oh, wow.
Because she literally held my hand through healing.
So wait, were you guys close?
No.
She just randomly called you?
Okay. I was losing it on Instagram too.
Oh, okay. So she saw the help me.
Yes, she saw it.
How crazy is that somebody that
who used to
bullied me
decided to hold your hand through that process when even your close friends were nowhere to be found.
Wow, that's okay. When you put it like that, that's crazy.
That's nuts, right?
So that's God.
Yes, absolutely. That is God.
Yeah.
Use anybody.
Anybody. And I know it's God because I wasn't reluctant to her at all. Mm. And given our history, I should have been like, girl.
Right.
Like you, where you come from? Right. But I was not.
He put you in that isolation for a reason.
Oh, he did.
He said, okay, so none of this is working. So how about we just try something new?
Yes.
Yep. And sometimes God will do that to us when we are so disobedient.
Look, and
He's like, how far do you want to go? Because I'll take it there with you.
I'll take wherever you want to go, I'll take it there with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until you get it.
Until you get it.
A few bucks. Right. What's up?
Period.
I'm a buck hard.
That's what God is saying. For sure.
I'm a buck hard.
For sure.
He a gangster.
He definitely is a gangster. But that's why he's a woman. But we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. So then it kind of, looking back, it kind of went very out of this world type situation. We went on a drive down Lakeshore Drive and she said, I see that you're hurting. What are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I want to move. Probably going to move to Atlanta. That's what everybody else does. And she's like, do you want to run or do you want to heal? And I said, oh.
Damn. That's real.
That's deep. Do you want to run or do you want to heal?
Camera right there? No.
For real. Look at the camera and say that one.
Do you want to run or do you want to heal?
Because that's what it is. Wow. Those are the only two options. Either you healing or you hello.
I think that needs to be the name of this episode.
Do you want to run or do you want to heal? Ooh, I like it. Mm-hmm. I actually like that.
I do too. I like that. I was like, okay, well, I want to heal. Right. Because I don't want to feel like this no more. Mm-hmm. And like I said, she held my hand. She gave me a book that she didn't even read, which is The Untethered Soul. I know I told y'all about that when y'all came in here. Yeah, because that book, he needs to put me on payroll.
Okay.
So many of those
What's his name?
Michael Singer Jr.
Michael Singer Jr., sir.
Okay.
We need our girl Mariah on the payroll.
For real. Today. I have sold 2,334 copies of your book, boo. Call me.
Talking shit, sis.
But no, seriously, that book, I feel like if I didn't have to sell another book, I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. It is so nurturing and so simple yet complex that it prepares your mind to heal.
Who introduced you to the book? She did?
She did, yeah.
A book that she didn't
I was about to say
read.
The Bully. That's so funny. The Bully Girl.
So she introduced you to the book.
And she didn't even
She
read
didn't even
it. That's
read
the
it.
crazy
Even read
part
it.
to
She
me.
said
Somebody told her about it?
yes, her mom gave it to her. Her mom read it and was like, you need to read this book. And she gave it to me and she was like, my mom said you should read, like I should read this book, so I'm gonna give it to you. Oh. And I was like, why aren't you reading it? Right. And she was like, I'll read it another time. So I read it and I was crying by the 3rd page of the book.
Man.
Oh, wow. Cause I'm like, oh, you reading me.
Oh, wow.
Okay. What was the takeaway? That like the main thing that was so transformative for you in that book?
To not take everything personal. He introduced me to my subconscious, which allowed me to view everything, to realize that I am the one seeing. You know, I am the one that is in my seat of consciousness. It is not me that is having these angry, negative thoughts. It's not me. I am the one that observes it. And I was the one that absorbed it, but it taught me how to observe and not absorb. And
Control.
that
It's like control.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's a line in the book that is like, you can tell your brain to shut up.
Yeah.
And that was so simple.
Mind over matter. I used to tell I remember reading something about that when I was a kid. And ever since then, I was like, I feel like my brain is more powerful than I realize. And if I just make my mind
As a
up
kid,
for
you
it,
said that.
I can do it.
That's so deep.
That's deep.
And I dealt with depression in high school and I didn't know what it was.
Same.
And I had ADHD. I was like, why am I going through these weird ass... I thought I was bipolar. I don't miss that at all.
And
No.
it's amazing that you didn't get misdiagnosed.
I didn't go
because
get that. Because I was raised by a religious person. It was like, God will fix all of it.
Yeah, pray about it.
Pray about it.
Yeah.
Depression, what's that?
Counselor who?
What you mean you sad?
Right.
You know,
Sad about what?
Pray to God. He'll fix it.
If you had God in your life, you wouldn't be sad.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. What does that mean?
What is that? Like God didn't give us the tools.
Loaded.
You know?
Like God didn't give us the people around, the support that we need
Right.
to assist us through this stuff.
Exactly. And how do you pray? How do you talk to him? How do you address him? Like, I remember one time they was like, and if you don't say in Jesus' name, it's not getting to him.
Oh my God.
So all the prayers that I didn't say in Jesus' name, he didn't hear.
It's the technique. It was all about the rules. That's how you
the
know it's like
technicalities.
religion or spirituality.
Yes.
They say it's like those are the huge differences. Is that religion focuses on the rules of it and the
Ridiculous.
But
That's the reason
spirituality
why-
is the relationship.
Yeah, that's the reason why I always find
Relationship.
so much more connection with God through journaling because God told me that writing is my superpower.
Yes.
So if I don't sound like other people when I pray aloud, I feel like I get so much anxiety around the prayers out loud because of the fact that there's such a way to do it. Like growing up religious, you hear people praying a certain way and you feel like that's how you have to pray in order for God to receive what you have to say. So I'm like, I'm just going to write it down.
That's why
And
I
God
used to
gonna
hate
hear
when
me.
they used to do stuff like that and make
what?
people pray out loud. Did I tell you about that? I remember I was at one of those teen conference things and they made everyone separate into groups. It was like 3 of us and there were there were 2 people there who were avid in the church. They were very very vocal. They would do things like pray out loud and stuff. And so they were like, all right, everybody pray out loud over each other. And immediately I just froze and I was like, I'm sorry. Like I promise I'm a Christian. Like, and I just got super self-conscious about it.
That's not right.
It's not.
That's why a lot of people are church hurt.
I'm church hurt. I'm not
that
gonna lie.
that's
I'm
a
still
whole
healing.
that could be a whole episode.
I'm still
in
healing.
itself.
And I grew up in my
Absolutely.
church. That was the only church that I've really been to. And I'm still church hurt and still healing.
Yeah.
And it's been like 5 years.
Yeah, that's
Man.
not right. That's not right because once you get a relationship with God, you realize he doesn't want all of that. He just wants you to give him
All the
his
politics
time.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and then
about
show
community.
up as yourself.
Absolutely,
And it looks
authentically.
different for different people.
Absolutely.
Your
'Cause
relationship
we're all
with God.
unique.
Yeah. It's and he's gonna receive it the way that you show up because of the fact that he knows who you are and how you connect with him. It doesn't have to be this textbook way that everybody does it. But that's something, it takes so much time to like powerfully walk into that.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there's so many people telling you that
Yes.
it has to be this way.
Absolutely.
If you have a relationship with God, this is the way that
This
it
is the
has
only
to
way
look.
that it'll work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody think they right. That's always my
Everybody
thing
does
when I
think
think
that.
about just religion in general. It's like everyone thinks they're so right about their religion. It's like, okay, all of y'all.
Yeah.
All of y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody right.
And I guess my thing is you can be right, but don't push that on me.
But don't push that on
me.
Hello.
Come on, that's it right there.
You know, like
Hello. I respect everybody by all means. Like, I'm gonna believe what I believe in. You by all means live your life the way that you want to live. It's not my life. It's yours.
And people get to you believe that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Right.
Not everyone walks the same. Not all of us have the same skin. Not all of us have the. Come on.
And what works for you might not work for me.
Exactly.
That's why I just believe, like, to me, the main message that I get about God and about the way that we interact with other people is just love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like...
And compassion.
And
just
compassion.
And time.
Yeah.
And time.
And I think that a lot of people focus so much on the little technicalities that it takes the love.
The empathy.
It takes it out.
The
like,
humanity.
it rips it out.
But I think that that's the goal of society, period. To take the love, the soul, the feeling, the emotion, the human side of it out. To automate it. To make it robotic, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because of you, I started reading all about love.
Yes.
And so I'm only on like the 3rd chapter, but nonetheless, I am like, she's diving into like just the socializing of how people see love and how people view it and feel it and what it really is.
Oh, yes. Auntie Belle gonna get you together.
Yep.
She be speaking facts. I said, okay, sis. Speak.
Yes. Yep. She's gonna get you together in a mothering, nurturing way, but it's and you better.
Yeah.
Type,
it is very much so. And you better.
Tone in her writing, which is really cool.
Yes.
But that kind of brings me to like the idea of just healing through literature. Like The Untethered Soul did that for you. Is there any other book
absolutely
that did that?
The pandemic, that's what I did. I was reading.
Come on, using the pandemic
And
intentionally.
I absolutely did.
So that's where you found yourself. It was the pandemic when you were in that space where you were trying to find yourself again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was right then. So those years I literally was in the house by myself. And so I went from feeling like I spoke in the beginning, feeling like being alone was isolation, to feeling like being alone was solitude.
I love that.
And
I love
that moment that I felt that, like,
it's power.
I got chills right now remembering the feeling, because it made me feel like, all right, now you can do this.
Yes.
Now you can figure out what's next.
Yes.
Wow.
You just needed to cancel all that outside noise.
Yes.
And just focus on you.
Yes.
Just
exactly.
you. As uncomfortable that shedding is, it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the part that is the uncomfortable part.
It's the pruning.
That's the part that we kind of like stray away from, because it's so deep and it's so dark. You know, and it's just like, can I handle this? I don't think that I can. But with the strength, and then with the strength that I received from him after I asked him, he kept sending me different things. He kept sending me different books. And like I said, I went to HBCU and we had a class on bell hooks. So I read all about love. But when I read it the second time, I read all about love after The Untethered Soul.
You had them eyes open.
Yeah, it was different.
It was different.
It was different.
It was different. I'm whoa.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the same book that I read. Because I remember I was just reading so that I can get like past the test or, like get through it. It didn't. It hit way differently. And I was in my grandma's childhood after reading that book, trying to figure out, because, when we are in our mother's womb, when our mother is in our grandmother. Exactly. So all of that trauma.
Yeah.
Come on.
It lingers over.
Exactly. And you going through things that you like, I didn't even do anything to get this karma, but really it don't have nothing to do with you.
It's generational curses.
And until somebody breaks the chain,
exactly,
it's going to continue.
It's like, why we got to be the strong ones?
Man.
Like that. I don't know who said it, but he was like, hello, God, I'm just trying to make sure that I am not on the strongest soldier, because I do not want to sign up.
Hello,
like,
please,
period.
recruit somebody else.
Please get somebody else to do it. I can't do it.
Not me.
Not me. Yeah.
Man.
And so I read all about love. Then I read the 4 Agreements.
Oh,
and then
these are all great.
Great, right? Then I watched Life of Pi.
I haven't seen it.
You have to watch that movie.
Okay.
It's a deep movie.
It's very deep.
It's a very deep movie.
It's to sum it up real quick. It's about a guy, he loses his family, and then he is stranded in the middle of the ocean by himself with a whole bunch of animals, and one of them is a tiger. And so the tiger obviously eats all of the other animals. And then he's just left with Pi and the tiger. Okay. And the man had to like show his dominance to the tiger, like, you need me. in order to survive. So we got to work together. And so it's about them going through the ocean together.
Wow.
And how, you know, they needed each other to live. Obviously, Pi needed security, and then the tiger needed food. So they combined together, and just to watch that strength from him, and also the kind of to watch the tiger acquiesce and realize, like, okay, I need you. It was just so empowering, because I'm not to minimize my problems, but to see his and see how he got through it, and to be able to talk about it. I was like, okay, I need to put on my big girl pants and get this together.
Tame your lion.
Exactly.
Man.
Tame your lion.
Exactly.
That's good.
That's it right there. That's
Wow.
exactly what
That's why I said this is a deep ass movie.
Yeah.
God
That is
damn.
deep.
Because you can say that line is anything. Your ego.
Yeah.
Man,
Your trauma.
That's good.
Especially your ego. Because your ego will get in the way of you healing from your trauma.
Absolutely.
Tame your lion.
For sure.
Yes.
You know what it makes me think about? And this is so funny because this is just such a me thing that I'm about to say. But I just think about like Disney movies.
This is such a Kayla conversation.
But no, those movies are so deep.
They have to make it cartoon.
Moana? Sorry, that will always be
Pocahontas?
my... Pocahontas. That...
Pocahontas.
I took
think
that
about
literally.
Encanto. That's a new one, but Encanto is so deep that this girl did not get a door, and the rest of her family was deemed special, and she was outcasted. And come to find out, she was the key all along to everybody.
Her quote unquote ununiqueness was the uniqueness.
Hello.
Period.
So it's just I love being able to find like healing through Disney movies.
But it's, you know what, someone said this to me and it resonated with me, and I will forever live like this. God gives the earth literature or like a movie or like a TV show when we need to see it. And whomever it's for will understand it on the level that they're supposed to.
I agree. You know, I don't Asia is more of the, oh my God, it's a sign kind of person, but Asia's starting to rub off on me, and I'm starting to see the small coincidences in life, and I'm like,
yes,
all you gotta do is open your eyes.
That's Pocahontas. That's what the moral of that. Open your eyes, because everything around you makes it all works in conjunction.
Timely coincidence?
Man,
I think not.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so just seeing those people muster up the strength to keep going gave me strength.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, let me do this. Let me do this. And like I said, I was by myself. I didn't have any help from nobody. And I had stopped promoting my book, stopped doing interviews, stopped doing all type of stuff. And then out of nowhere, my manager called me and was like, hey, this college wants you to come and speak. And I was like, college? Okay. Cool, I'll go. I was going to do it just because. Right. You know? And then it got me back.
Look at that. At the right time.
At the right time.
Because God said that you were ready.
Like,
He saw the work that you did, the preparation, and knew that you were more in alignment with the purpose that you were talking about. That's dangerous. Yeah. It's dangerous when you're not in check.
Yes.
So you'll be kept in that dark space until you are in check enough to be able to receive, because of the fact that it is dangerous.
That is dangerous. Purpose with no discipline?
Yes.
Come on, because purpose comes with it can come with power, especially if you're in a space where you're visible.
Yeah.
And so you have to be so careful about the way that you're making yourself visible, the image that you're creating for other people to receive, you know? And then also for you being an author, what words are you going to speak over your life?
Absolutely. Yeah. He had to humble me first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was definitely entitled and not taking it as serious as I should have.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got my people in your hands. So I'm going to need you to kind of sit back and really think about this, because I'm giving this to you. This is yours. This is what I need you here for.
This is your gift. Now multiply it.
Now multiply it.
Because purpose always comes attached to other people.
Exactly.
It's never about
That's
you.
So true.
No.
It's never about you.
No. And before, like I said, I was just like, I feel like I have no purpose here. Like, it's not about me. But now I feel like it's not about me, but I feel like I have purpose.
Yep.
Like I know it's not about me, but
it's fulfilling.
It is fulfilling because I know that I feel like everybody has gifts, but I feel like what I have, my message, and what I say, can't nobody say it like me. And I gotta be here, and I have to be present, and I have to be in check enough to deliver it because I got people connected to it. So I can't. I gotta keep going, and I gotta listen. I can't stop.
You really can't. Your life is not your own.
No.
Your experience is not your own.
Exactly.
The vessel.
And if I stop, then somebody else is gonna stop. And now it's a trickle down effect, and I can't be a part of that.
Yep.
Period.
Wow.
You gotta keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Finding Nemo. Exactly.
Look at
Doris Yes. Exactly.
That's crazy. So how did we get here? Like Soulful. Like you went back to like speaking, and then from there, what birthed Soulful?
Well, I was speaking and it was virtual.
Okay.
And yes, I was getting paid. You know, I could have just done virtual for the rest of my life and been like, okay, I'm good. But the connection wasn't there. You know, like when I was speaking before, I would sit 2 hours after and talk to people, and people would like bare their souls to me. But I can't do that over a computer. Like I can't sit and talk to you, and I can't feel your energy over a computer. So I was like, I need to get around some people. You know, I've been by myself for a while. I need to get around some people, but what am I going to do? You know, like what? Okay, I could write another book, but it's COVID, so everything is shut down, you know? So what am I going to do? But I'm like, COVID is about to be over with, or the restrictions are about to loosen up. So what can I do? And I gave it to God, because now I got this foundation. Now I'm like, okay, you're in control.
What do you want
Guide
me to do?
What you want me to do? You know. So I said, I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna let it go. And I'm not sure of the time period, but he dropped this on me, and I didn't know the name for it, but I knew the vibe that I wanted. You know, I knew that I wanted to kind of create the safe space that I created in my home with the books that I created, you know, with the books that I was given, with the movies that I was given, with the other things that I was given. I wanted to create that for other people. And I shared it with my mom, because over this time, now I'm easing back into my friendships. I'm easing back into my parents. Now we're getting back. And so I mentioned it to her, and she's like, wow, that is amazing. You know, like that is going to
been powerful.
Change lives.
To get that affirmation.
Man.
Yes. Because my mom is always like, I don't care which way the moon is facing, if it's facing east or west. She's not really like that type. And me, I'm a Cancer, and I feel like 100% sure that whenever the moon is full, half, or not there, it's like this with my feelings. And she's like, oh no. So when I told her the vibe that I wanted, she was like, let's do it. And she supported me 100%.
Wow.
Okay.
And so...
Thanks, Mom.
Right? She was like... Because I guess she saw the passion. And of course, God probably was talking to her on her heart, you know. And she was like, this is what we need. You know? So when I came in here, if you come to my house, it's not as vibrant as this at all. So me doing this, it was so shocking to me, because I had never done anything like it before. Like the decor, the vibe, never done anything.
Oh, this was you? All the decor?
Absolutely. Did that.
Come on.
Not us being twins.
That was too cute. I hope y'all like...
It's because we
Make
spent too
that a
much
thing.
time together. We're
Now we
basically
two
the
in
same person
sync.
at this point.
Gotta be. I love that.
Wow.
But he like, this is what I want you to do. I came in, my architect was like, what do you want here? And I knew it immediately. I'm like, I want this like this, I want this like this, I want that like that. And then I started like putting flowers. If you go out there, you see that flower wall. I started like gluing flowers, burnt my hand up.
Oh my God.
But it felt, I'm like, yes. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going home,
Like, this is it.
Yes,
And it's coming to life.
Right, exactly. And right before I opened, there was a pastor that came in here, and he like prayed over it. And he was just like, this is going to change lives.
Wow.
Man.
And I just hope you're ready for it.
Wow.
And I was just like,
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
that's what I'm here for. And yeah.
I love that. And look at where we
And we here.
Yeah.
And look at where we
We're
are.
here. So explain for the people who don't know, like, what would you consider soulful? Like, because I wanted to give you the space to introduce it and share what it is.
Thank you. I feel like the greatest threat to society is the war in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are under attack. I think that the more options that we're given, the further away we get to our spiritual connection and how to really isolate our thoughts to figure out what they're about. We really don't know our emotions because we're not taught that.
Mm-hmm.
We are taught how to live in society.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught how to be human.
We're taught to be socialized.
Exactly. But we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and no one tells us how to be human.
Mm-hmm.
So Soulful is an emotional intelligence book lounge, and what that means is that we focus on spiritual, personal, emotional, and physical growth in all areas. I feel as though our black people, period, are so disconnected from each other because we're disconnected from self and source.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily know what that looks like because church tells you it's this way, or your people tell you it's this way, or you see it's this way. And then you start to praise material things. And so the real reason that we're here kind of gets ignored.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a space where we can come and really figure out why are we here? Otherwise, what does this mean?
Right.
What is all of the glitz and glamour? What is the cars? What is it for if you can't take it with you? What are you here for?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted this space to be where you find you. Because we go through life, we get older, and we're expected to know who we are.
I like that.
But we don't. When we get to a certain age, I'm just now figuring out who I am.
Yeah.
Like Lauryn Hill
God,
said that. She was like, I had to reintroduce myself to my parents.
Yes.
Because I didn't know me, so there's no way you knew me.
Yes.
And that's why this space is here. Because I want people to be able to talk to other people and say, I really don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that person give that other person grace and be like, well, this is what I did. This is the path that I took. Maybe you can do that. Or these are the events that helped me, Because I think therapy is great for those it works for, but it didn't work for me.
Yeah. And it doesn't work for
It doesn't work.
Even
for
still, I
everybody.
feel like therapy is extremely useful. It can be useful, but sometimes I feel like it's a Band-Aid because therapy is only once every so-and-so.
Absolutely.
What are you doing outside of that?
Absolutely.
And I feel like you have created a space for people to gain those tools to set that foundation that you were talking about that you didn't have.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a foundational within yourself, a good foundation of self,
Yes.
you'll just be flying all over the place.
Exactly.
Yes.
I know
And
I
that's the
was.
thing, like when it comes to therapy too, like a lot of people go and then they want to rely on it.
Yeah.
Is their only source.
But
and with
can't
me,
be the only source.
it's not. And even with me in school to be a counselor, I tell people all the time, your relationship with therapy should not be indefinite.
Yeah.
It should be something that you experience, that you gain tools from.
Absolutely.
And then you utilize that.
Absolutely.
It's a resource.
Absolutely.
It's not the end all be all. It is
Yeah.
not what you do to find yourself
Yes.
fully and wholly. Like, it's a start.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I
Yeah.
think that it gives you a lot of access to figuring out things about that you might not have considered. You might get questioned in ways that you haven't questioned things before.
Yes.
But it's definitely not the source of it
I
all.
agree.
No.
You have to. What you just said was, I love that because I agree. I feel the same way. But you have to. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a village to raise a person.
I agree.
Period.
That's why I keep calling you guys. I found my village
Love that. Love that.
because I'm an adult, but I'm still being raised. I'm raising
We
myself.
all are.
You gonna be raised until you get out of here.
Exactly.
Because it's
You
all
should,
of
and you
this-
shouldn't stop.
You should not stop.
You should be
should
constantly
Yes,
evolve.
absolutely.
Constantly evolving.
But you got to create and I'm learning this as I go along. I hate to sound like, oh, I'm not that person. I am learning this as I go. You have to create a healing circle,
Yeah.
which can include therapy. It can include your friends. It can include a safe space. For me, it includes weed too.
Yeah.
Because Okay.
Shit, hello.
Period, though. And it's so like, you shouldn't do that. It's so frowned upon. But the thing for me is that life is hard.
Life is hard.
Sometimes you need a release.
You need a release. A relief.
Yeah.
And you need I don't escape. I make sure that every time I'm rolling up, I'm setting intentions.
I agree.
This is so that I can handle my day.
You're not dependent on it.
No, absolutely not.
That's why I don't understand. Because I recently posted a TikTok because I've been very wary about letting anyone know that I'm a smoker. But I posted something recently when I had a blunt in my hand, and someone was like, "Is it weird that I'm just so disappointed that I found out she's smoking?" I'm like, okay, but all of that praise and that affirmation you were giving me before, I'm still the same person.
And this is what helped me.
You was smoking then.
This is
when there was affirming.
Even before y'all didn't know I was smoking.
Right.
But it's because of what society has created around it.
They have made it such a negative thing, and especially with it being illegal and now being legalized, people are still so on the fence. But it's just like, there's nothing to be on the fence about because it's not your business. If you don't want to smoke,
then don't do it. Then don't do it.
My anxiety is so much more manageable.
Yes, I'm
even when it
sure.
comes down, because I'm a petite woman just like you are, and I really struggle with my appetite before. I'm finally over 100 pounds, and the way that I've been able to maintain is I sometimes stimulate my appetite with weed.
Yes.
I don't overindulge.
You shouldn't be ashamed of that. You should not be ashamed of that.
I mean, shoot, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is. And you know what? And I think that that's what people have to understand, that it doesn't alter your personality.
Exactly.
But that's what people think, though.
I'm not unmotivated.
We have to change the stigma.
I'm not lazy.
No, exactly.
I'm not.
You don't get violent.
I don't get violent.
Right.
I'm functional.
Yes.
I'm more than functional.
Exactly.
I'm thriving.
Exactly.
Thriving. Exactly. Exactly.
What's the issue?
They don't really, you know what? And I don't knock anybody because I understand why they feel that way. But that's why we have to continue to educate, because why we do it is simply because it aids in everyday life.
I agree.
I am not saying, I'm about to get dumb high so that I can escape this.
I think that's the thing. People think immediately they connect it to overindulgence. And they don't understand that it can look different for different people,
I will say, I think culture does kind of push this thing of when it comes to anything, alcohol or weed or anything. Because I remember in college when I first started smoking, and I hated it. But I realized because I was around people who were also overindulging, and so I thought that that's how you were supposed to smoke. And it wasn't. And I was like, why would anyone want to be stuck like this? I feel stupid. But then in my adult years, I learned how it would aid me. And so then I started to learn in titrations, how this can actually assist my life and how to properly use it.
Absolutely. You got to educate yourself.
And you got to educate yourself. And that's for anything.
The more you know.
The more. Boom. Where you got one of those?
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, that's so good. Man. I think that we talked for a long time because this was this was so good. And I feel like we said when we took a little break, you're going to be a recurring guest.
Of course.
I feel it.
I love it.
For sure.
Because we still have other stuff to talk about. Even just you simply with the business and being a Black woman.
Oh, man.
With a full business. That's amazing.
You know what? I do want to say this before we go. You guys have really built your brand up to what it is. And I'm so proud of y'all. And it means a lot to me that you would trust me and my vision with your vision. I'm a creative, so I understand how scary that is. You've built up who you are, and you have these people that rely on you to bring good content. And I don't take it lightly. I appreciate the both of you. And I think that together, the mission is the same. Your podcast, Fill in the Blank, that is crazy.
Yeah.
The blank of life, you have to feel. That is just so the world needs it. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
We're grateful to have found you and to be able to connect over us being creatives and the mission that even though we have two different things that we're doing, they are so aligned in what we're trying to accomplish. And that it's just, I can't say enough, like very God ordained. Like ever since we've started this podcast, everything just feels like alignment.
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everybody, your whole crew has great spirits. I follow all of y'all on Instagram, and I just love everybody. I'm like, they living their life.
Yep.
They getting to it. You know, they doing business. I just love to see women thriving and Black women. I just love it.
Love it so much. Oh, I thought of one more thing I wanted to share. Yeah. This was something that I thought about after the fact of like, why, like another confirmation, like receiving confirmation that things are in alignment. So back during the pandemic, I was doing a thing on my social media that has like, the names are like, in that I would call it successful, how yours is soulful.
Oh, yeah.
It would be successful Sundays. And I would share like my little mini wins of things that I was doing, to like share like my little success stories. And so it clicked one day. I was like, oh my gosh, like we both used, instead of the FUL, the FULL, being intentional about the wording of being full. And I was just like, that was just another confirmation that all of this is like definitely aligned.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're soldiers of God, for sure. We gotta just keep doing it.
Yes. Iyanna, do you want to do some affirmations? We didn't do it last time.
Oh, shit. Y'all ain't tell me. I ain't come prepared.
You might have some. Look, you
well, she said one. She said, tame your lion. What did she say?
Come on.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. Y'all ready?
Yes.
I will tame my lion.
Tame my lion.
I will be intentional in healing.
Be intentional in healing.
Growth.
I
need another one. What else?
And evolution.
Oh, and evolution.
I got one that came from what you said.
Come on.
I will heal and not run.
Yes.
I will heal and not run.
Yes. Oh, can I do one?
Yes. Of course.
I'm going to be me no matter what.
Hey, I'm going to be me no matter what. Because that's on period.
Okay.
Period.
Look, I don't know what else to be.
All right. Period.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
Well, that was a great episode.
It was so good. It felt so good.
Yeah,
like,
really good episode.
I hope that y'all could feel this energy through listening and watching. You can follow us we on TikTok, y'all. People finding us on TikTok. So you can follow us on TikTok at Fill in the Blank Pod. Yeah, Fill in the Blank Pod. On Instagram at Fill in the Blank _. You can follow me at As Told by .Kayla.
Me at Iyanna.Amore.
Me at It's Just Modi.
Yes.
MODI.
Okay.
And Soulful.
Oh, Soulfull Chicago. Full with 2 L's.
Yes. Y'all, please come check out Soulful Chicago.
And if you're in Chicago, this is one of the the best places I've been in the city, and I grew up in Chicago native. It is just a vibe.
If you're interested in like wellness and healing, there's more than just this being a book lounge. There's classes, there's healing workshops, there's events. So please just check it out.
And there's good food.
Yes.
Come on, and
let's not forget
that.
Yes,
we got Auntie back there making sandwiches.
Thank you. Is making the best sandwiches in the Chicagoland area.
Okay, period.
So please come and check Soulful out. And thank you all so much once again for tuning in to Fill in the Blank. And we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.